Just wanted to do a quick video of the RC I just got a couple months ago. This is a Losi 5T. I've wanted to get one for a while now, and then when the 2.0 came out, I seriously considered getting that. But at $1,400, I also considered getting a used one because I was gonna upgrade all the parts on it anyway. So I figured to be more cost efficient with it, I looked at used ones on eBay, and I got this one off of eBay. Originally, the previous owner had it had it for sale for I think around $1,850, and he had a lot of additional parts to it, some additional wheels and tires, some other parts. He had actually an extra engine, a Zenoa G320 engine, I think, but it didn't have it was pretty much the bare engine. Didn't have a clutch or a flywheel or anything like that. But all of that, in addition to the truck, I think he was trying to sell it for $1,850, and it sat on eBay for quite a while, and I just kept watching it, and he eventually did away with the extra parts and just sold the truck as is, ready to run, with the transmitter, but that was pretty much it, nothing else. And he lowered it, I think, down to $1,700. So that's when I made an offer, and we negotiated, and I eventually bought it for about $1,575. So I think that was a very good price, because when it got here, the shipping cost I found out was about $95. So yeah, I think this was definitely a good value, because I would have eventually upgraded everything on a stock 5T anyway. So as you can see, this has got a lot of upgrades to it. I've actually done a few upgrades of my own since I got it. When I first got it, it didn't even start. I checked the spark plug to see if there were spark, and then I realized, I discovered it was the carb on it wasn't getting any feel to the engine itself. So I replaced the carb. This is a 990 carb. After I replaced the carb, it started right up. I also replaced the air filter. It was a stock Losi 5T air filter. I bought this as a Total Racing one with the HPI Baja filter on it, and so I installed that. When I initially started up, there was just oil coming all out of this exhaust header. It was pretty loose, so I had to redo all that. Gas was coming out of the grommet here on the old fuel tank, so I replaced the whole thing and got a new fuel tank. Now it's running great, and I'll just go through some of the upgrades that it already had on it. It's got FLM center diff mount. It's got Axis RC brakes. The engine itself is an OBR full mod 30.5 cc engine. I took it out to put a crankcase out-of-works cover on it, and I did read the engraving. It was built in 2014, so it's I'd say about 4.5 years old. But it's still got some good compression on it, and so it runs fine. It's got billet clutch housing and clutch carrier. The clutch actually is an MIP, I think MIP clutch. I'm not sure if they still make those or not, but that's a pretty good clutch. The center diff, that's an aftermarket diff housing. I think it's about ADI. I'm not positive on that. It's got high-tech servos for the steering and throttle. Upgraded aluminum center chassis mounts there in the front and the rear. It's got I think those are ADI front and rear pivot blocks. Team Chase chassis, Team Chase front bumper. I put these on. These are out-of-wear shock covers. I actually had to rebuild the shocks. They were leaking pretty bad, so I rebuilt those. The rear ones were fine. I probably will have to rebuild those eventually. All the diffs look okay. The diffs aren't leaking or anything. The front one is probably the worst one. I'm not sure if you can see it. There's a little bit of leaking, so I probably will have to rebuild the front diff shortly. But I think I'll just run it for a little bit until it leaks a little more, and then I'll rebuild it. I got rid of the stock body. It came with the previous owner painted it up in a scheme that I really didn't like, so I got this body. This is the 30° north body. I just bought the panels. Which was a lot cheaper than buying the whole thing with the roll cage. I just reused the old roll cage. But yeah, this is it's a very thick plastic, very durable, and can bend. So I think it'll last for a while, and it looks pretty good. I like it. So got that. All the CV joints have boots on them, so that's good. I will be getting a shield here to put on the rear A-arms. These are Turtle Racing rear A-arms as well. This pipe I believe is made by Gizmo Racing. It looks like a VRC pipe, but it's not. It's just very similar in design. But yeah, I think this is a Gizmo Racing. I don't think they make it anymore. But it's kind of old and rusted, but it still works fine. So I'm gonna use it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, I think it's a great buy, very good value, and very happy with the purchase. While I'm at it, I guess I'll show you my other RCs. I don't think I've ever shown my whole collection here. So this is my Baja. I've had this for quite a while now. It's got a lot of upgrades to it. Pretty much everything's been upgraded on it. As you can see, won't go over it too much, but it's got an OBR engine as well. That's a full mod 34.cc, 9.4 horsepower. So yep, that's this actually is probably faster than the Losi, because the Baja is a lot lighter, and it's got a stronger engine, and this is much heavier, and the engine's not as strong. So I haven't run them both at the same time. I'll probably do that with my son when it gets a little warmer, but this will probably definitely be a little bit faster. So I'll take a look at the other RCs here in my collection. This is a Losi trail trucker. And I built a little crawling course for it. You can see the whole thing here. It's kind of hard to see, but yeah, I don't drive that too often anymore, but it's pretty fun. This is a H-Press Savage Flux XL. I've got some upgrades to this. It's got the FLM chassis plates. It's also got the I think that's the Alza Racing center diff mount. I use the center diff from the HPI Vorza, and so yeah, that's a good upgrade on that. Traxxas Stampede 4x4. So this is Team Associated SC10 two-wheel drive. This is actually a project that I've been procrastinating on. It's been sitting here for seems like years now. I have all the parts to it. They're right here. And I just haven't had a chance to put it all together. It's just sitting here ready to be put together. But I will eventually do that and run that. Let me go over here. This is the Exoterra. It's custom built. Custom. I'm not sure if you guys can see it here. There you go. It's got lights and everything, and so slash 4x4. This is and all the upgrades as well on it. Custom painted body. So Trail Finder 2. Also got a lot of upgrades to this. So this is kind of like a shelf queen. I haven't actually had a chance to get it on the trail yet. I will eventually. The park where I want to take it to is about 45 minutes away. So I just haven't had a chance to get over there. Next one is the Ofna GTP 2E. This was originally set up as a speed run car. I had the gearing set up for it. You need special gearing for that. The fastest that I got it to was about 80 miles an hour, but it kept the front end just kept flipping up in the air. And I put some weight up in the front bumper, but it kept doing it. I don't know if it was the body or whatnot, but it got thrashed up pretty good. So I switched out the gearing, and now it's mainly just like a GT track car. And I got a new body and painted up this new body on it, so I don't really want to mess it up. So it's a pretty fun track car. It does crazy donuts and whatnot. So this is my rally car. This is a Kyosho DRX VE with the Ford, I think it's the Ford Fiesta body, I'm not sure. But this, it used to have this Subaru body, but that got torn up and used, so I got this body to replace it. And this one is it's actually a custom. Take it out here. Oh, it hasn't been used in a while. It's a custom Rustler, actually. Custom, chassis, aluminum chassis. So, haven't run this in a while. And this is the only RC that I actually have a Traxxas connector on. I don't know why I still have that on there, but everything else is like Dean's. So, last car is the Losi Mini T. That's mainly for the kids to drive indoors in the house. Yeah, that's about it. That is my collection. Alright, well, I'll probably do a running video of this Losi 5T when it stops raining and snowing. It's been pretty wet for the last few weeks. I live in Virginia, so once it dries up, I'm going to do a running video on it. I've got some more some upgrades coming. Just some minor stuff, nothing major, but I will post a video of this soon once I got it the way I want it. So, all right, see you later.